so much for tuning in with us. We're at Rebelle Rally presented by Hoenn Adventures, coming at you from Base Camp 4 in the beautiful dunes of Glamis, California. I'm here again, once again, with Team Sugar High. They laugh, but it's a good thing. They've got good stories to tell. Last we talked, tell me what's going on. What's the timeline like with the Sugar High Jeep now?
Well, we were off to a great start this morning. We started, I guess second. Yeah, we were number one, but actually second off the line this morning. Everything was going great. When we finished yesterday, the mechanics checked everything was looking good, so we got started. We went on the highway. We got to the first checkpoint, and Andrea went to air us down, and lo and behold, our seal that had been repaired was now no longer sealing, and everything was spilling out and spewing out. So,
and it actually looked like the axle from going through the whoops yesterday was rebent again.
Yeah.
So we got trailered out again.
Yep, we ended back up on a trailer. The mechanics came back out. They are our new best friends right now. And it got towed away for a while, and we really weren't quite sure what was going to happen. We ended up coming back to base camp with some of the media people, and then we were sitting kind of feeling, but I had a moment, I had a few tears, but we were feeling a little bummed sitting there, and then all of a sudden Andrea came out, and we heard that there was an awesome blue Jeep that arrived, so we went running out, and there she was, and the mechanics had, through connections, found us another axle from, Crawler Off-Road. They in Indio. They are amazing. They found us another axle. They re-geared it. They dropped everything they were doing for us, and their mechanics are actually working on it right now. So we will be at the start line tomorrow, and we will definitely be finishing. And we had a bunch of I'm sorry, I'm like totally talking. Go ahead.
The mechanics actually found out that our rear shocks were blown, so they're fixing that tonight too.
And the cool thing is that we are so determined to finish. We had a bunch of the girls tell us that if we can, that they are all going to tie us up and they are going to actually pull us across the finish line together. So we will be there at the finish tomorrow. I promise you.
One way or another. Well, that's awesome. This Jeep has been through a lot. I mean, for those of you just kind of tuning in on the story, we had blown out a back window, bent the front axle, and they were out there yesterday. Today had a rough start, but they were able to, I think, pretty last minute put everything back together for you. So you're planning on going off the start tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That's
cool.
awesome.
And we're number 2 off the start tomorrow.
Number 2, you picked number 2?
Yes.
What did you have yesterday?
Number 1. There's a number 0 though, so it's actually like yesterday was second, today's actually third. So yeah.
Well, worst case scenario, I mean, I think there'd be a handful of us that would probably pay to see the last scene in Talladega Nights where you're both running, leaving the vehicle and running.
You know what? If that's what it takes. That's what we're going to do, because we are going to finish this thing.
Yes, we are.
But we really want Sugar High with us, so we may have to push her, so. She's coming. She's actually been really good to us. I mean, could have been a lot worse, so.
Good. And this Jeep is appearing. You have plans for it in the future here?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in SEMA next week. So for all of you who are going to be attending SEMA, come check her out. We still need to get in touch with our sponsor, make sure they still want her, because she wasn't quite supposed to be in this condition at SEMA. So we're going to figure out exactly what's all going on with that. But one way or another, she's going to be at SEMA, and you can come. And Andrea and I are also going to be at SEMA, so you can come say hi to us, and yeah.
Well, good. Hey, it'll be more authentic. The dirtier it is, few parts it actually gets driven. I won't.
Yeah, yeah. We definitely use it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I want people to just pay attention to all the TVs in the back anyway.
Yeah.
That looks a little crooked. Oh wait, whoa. What's that? Well, that's awesome. Hey, thanks for following up with us. Have a good night, and we'll be back in a little bit. We're going to hear from one of our awesome sponsors, Sunto, who provided us with quite a lot of really rad product. UNTO. We'll be back in a few. Thanks. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We've got Team 132 with us now, Holly Freeman and Corley Lack. We're happy to have you here. It's been quite the journey. Tell me a little bit about how you end up here. I think it's kind of a cool story, and it involves yours truly. So I was really excited to see her out here.
No. Well, it's funny because I was following your guys' page on Instagram for a while, and I didn't quite know what it was as far as the Rebelle. And I thought it was just a group of females doing awesome stuff all the time. You contacted me and thought that I would fit, and then when you explained the whole event, I was like, hell yeah, I want to do it. I've always wanted to do rally and motorsports. It's obviously my life as far as Jeep, so it sounded awesome. And so I worked out a plan on how I could do it and got a bunch of sponsors to join my team, and then found Corley towards the end, and we've been an awesome team. We've learned a lot along the way, and so yeah, we're just excited to be here.
Awesome. How did you guys get hooked up together? I don't know the story behind that one.
Well, basically, we both are very active on Instagram, and we've been following each other for probably the better part of a year. And when she got all her sponsors and knew that she was actually coming, she put an announcement on Instagram saying she was looking for co-driver navigator. So I talked to my husband a little bit, and he's like, yeah, you got to do that. So I messaged her, and we talked and kind of hit it off and decided we were going to do it.
Awesome. It's going well so far. You guys are getting along together. That's great. And what are you guys driving?
My 2001 TJ Wrangler. Her name is Miss Tina. Yeah, and she's a 16-year-old one Jeep, and she's done awesome. Push her to the limits. She's had a shock come at the finish line on the ground, and had a fan clutch replacement and a few other things, and so she's doing awesome, really. And a Jeep Scrambler actually towed her back yesterday, so back to the mechanics, and we got her fixed and went on the road, and we've done awesome, honestly, and she's done great. I'm happy to bring her.
No, I'm glad you got her out here. It's just a really rad car, and Jeep is not just for this event for you. I mean, Jeep has been a lifestyle. I know you run a company. Tell us a little bit about where that's headed for you, how it started.
Ah, man, Yeti built. Honestly, me and my boyfriend, he goes by Yeti. I'm YOLO, Yeti and YOLO, and he's a fabricator. Um, honestly, we decided we wanted to live a different lifestyle as far as being adventurous and not having a 9 to 5 job, and so we decided, well, let's go out and live the life that we want. Off the grid, on the grid, all over the place, travel, meet people, whatever we want to do. And we were like, well, how are we going to do that? Well, I'm a good fabricator. Well, I'm a graphic designer. We're a good team. We seem to be fit as far as very crafty and artistic, and so he makes awesome stuff. I make it look good too. We sell stuff to people, and honestly, a lot of it is through Instagram. We have a lot of follower base, and we've built a family around it. As far as we interact with a lot of people, we've met a lot of people on the road, and um, we've connected to a lot of companies who want to help support our lifestyle. And with that, we're able to share what we like and what we use on the road every day as far as we live out of our Jeep and overland lifestyle. So it helps. I think we've learned from the bottom as far as being everyday weekend campers to now living that lifestyle every day. And so we're able to share the growths and ups and downs as far as what we've learned and what products to use and gear to use and what not to do. And so we share that with people, and people learn to trust us as far as being honest. If we don't like a product, then we're not going to share it with people. If things that we really like, then we've honestly just been honest people, telling them what we use and what we like, and then it's helped companies grow. A lot of small companies are in the local Southern California area. So it's been really awesome.
No, that's cool. I mean, your story is really inspiring, just everything that you've done with the company. I mean, start, having that moment in life where this isn't working, 9 to 5, doing this and that, and like, what do we want to do? How can we do it? And this is a solution, and it's really cool. And that's Yeti Built, YETIBUILT.
Yes.
And what do you guys think? I mean, obviously camping, four-wheeling is not new to you. What do you guys think of the course? What do you guys think of the Rebelle as a whole?
Actually, the Rebelle's been really exciting for me because I've spent the last 5 years doing things like rock crawling. So I'm up in the mountains. It's something that's very different. I haven't been exposed to very much desert. So it's been actually really fun, and I'm learning things like words like whoops. I didn't even know that that was a thing. So it's actually been really, really exciting. But the other thing that was interesting for us is both of us are drivers, neither one of us are navigators, and so it's been an incredible experience to learn new skills and take the skills we already have and get better at them and learn new things and tie them together because both of us do adventurous lifestyle type stuff. And even outside of this, the skills that we're learning here are going to be amazing for just being outside and the lifestyles that we live. Absolutely.
And applicable to so many things in life. I mean, not just in the off-road world, but I mean, as a larger metaphor, taking each day piece by piece and learning from your mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, we've had to learn to trust our instincts, to rely on our partner as far as weaknesses and strengths, to not be stressed. We've learned that stress honestly makes it worse, and then it's not fun. So we've learned to relax, trust our instincts, and just go out and have fun. And we're both competitive, and we've had to learn to just step back and be like, it's okay to not be first or second, or know that we're in the running. But we've learned every day. It's been a learning process, and it's been awesome. I think by the time we're done, I think we're hooked. I'm pretty sure we're hooked already. So yeah, it's been really great. We're really happy to be here, and we love you guys.
No, you're really sweet, and I'm so glad you were able to make it out, and you two, Corley. It's just, the journey's been awesome, and you guys are looking good out there. And thanks for taking a few minutes to hang with us. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be back in a little bit. See you in a few. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got Team 122 with us here now. Tana Brown and Amanda White. I've been combining people's names. It's the other way around, and they're just becoming one person, as I've said before, going forward. So, Tana White.
Yes, hello.
And Amanda Brown. There you go. And they're here to tell us a little bit about what's going on today and a little bit about one of the huge reasons why they're here competing and supporting what they're supporting.
Yeah. So, I don't know what you just asked me.
Why are you wearing purple?
Gotta go first.
Here, I'll ask that question. Why are you wearing purple today?
Well, today's October 20th. It's Thursday, and it's Domestic Violence Awareness Day. And so we're wearing purple to support the cause and bring awareness to everybody out there watching. And both of us, we're not victims ourselves, but we've been around situations. We have friends that have been victims and want to show our support.
Yeah. Very cool. And how is it incorporated into? I think you have partial donations going or something going on there.
Right. So we actually didn't get any sponsors, but we did offer sponsorship. So if we received sponsorship, 5% was going straight into Haven. I do actually have a foundation, so we will do a portion because of the Bright Confidence from that foundation. But we also named our team Bright Confidence because confidence is one of the things that abusers tend to take away from victims, from survivors immediately. And so we not only did we want to build confidence in ourselves, we wanted to show support for those that have lost confidence because confidence can be built again.
That's very cool, and there's so many dynamic pieces to this whole thing. Everyone's competing for a different reason, and it being a women's event, a lot of it is tied into greater causes and greater purposes that everybody, teams like you, are bringing to the table and kind of getting out there that might not be getting out there in another event, unlike this one. And what are you guys driving?
Well, we're driving, Amanda's driving her Lexus GX 470. Mm-hmm. I think we're the only Lexus out there. Yeah, so, yeah, it's an awesome, smooth ride. We've got our sheepskins. we're comfy.
Step one, most important.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, she's been good to us. Her name's Journey, by the way. Yeah, so Amanda's turned into an amazing driver, and so it's just been an amazing trip. I can't believe that it's almost over. I'm sad tomorrow's the last day. It's amazing. It really is amazing. But yeah, it's been a really incredible journey for both of us. Neither one of us had ever done any sort of rallies before, and I'd never done any off-roading besides ranch driving, and so this has been a really incredible experience, and neither one of us knew each other either, and so we have bonded very quickly. It was the fourth time, correct, that we'd ever seen each other or met each other right before the rally started, and we have done really well. So it's been really a very, very awesome experience.
No, that's really cool. I mean, it seems like a lot of the teens that have just kind of met at the start of this are getting along super well. And I mean, even if you're from different backgrounds, different whatever, you just share that same passion for, I mean, especially, bonding together on the cause for domestic violence too, and awareness that it's really neat. So you're driving primarily and then navigating primarily. What do you guys think of the course so far? Have you enjoyed the scenery and everything?
Oh yeah, I mean, Emily's set up a great course. I mean, we've been today. That ridgeline was breathtaking. It was truly breathtaking. We've seen some great views, and seen some, just it changes constantly throughout the day. I mean, in the dunes in the morning, and and then through, just, I mean, we're in I guess we're in Johnson Valley yesterday, or this morning. It just goes by so fast. So yeah, it's been cool, and yeah, as far as like just the journey so far, as as far as getting from one place to another as well. I mean, each of us, our skill levels have just jumped, every day, and today was awesome. I knocked one out of the park, I think, with the black. Yep. So yeah, I'm thrilled I know that I was on the latitude like to the thousandth decimal, but I need to find out. I think we were across the street or across the road from from the longitude, so we'll see.
So, it was awesome.
I know. I was like,
That was really cool. What's your history? You mentioned ranch driving, but what are both of your histories in off-road or navigation competition like this?
Zero.
Good, truly.
I've never done anything like this. My cousin Rochelle, or my cousin's wife, Rochelle Croft, has competed with the gazelles, and I took a class with her this summer and thought it was awesome. And I'm like, hey, I can do this, and Tina and I found each other. So I'd never done anything like this, and was going to come to the gala, and that was it. So had no idea that I could actually sign up for the Rebelle too.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got to join us for the extra 7 days.
Me too.
How about for you too?
My husband and I have been jeeping for quite some time, and once we moved back to Washington, we found the Northwest Overland and teamed up with some amazing people and have been traveling all around with, just exploring, and that's what we love to do with my Jeep and rooftop tent and our dogs. And so we just love to explore, and so I too, of course, at the Northwest Overland Rally, went to all of the Excel's classes. I was like, and they just made it sound so like it's something that anybody can do. And so it's like, well, why not me? I can do this. And and so my husband's like, yeah, you can. And yeah, it just we made it. Yeah, we made it happen. We're here. So it's been quite the amazing journey.
Yes, for sure. Well, I mean, it's so cool seeing the transformation. I mean, women on day one, it's just every day you get a little bit closer to being this new person. Yeah. And a lot of it is for women that that haven't done something like this before, and they get that opportunity to kind of find each other, find themselves, and in the process really change. And it's been really neat seeing. And thank you again for all the work that you guys are doing with, what did you say it was called, Haven?
Haven, Montana, in Bozeman, Montana. Yep, Haven.
And it's specific to
domestic abuse. It's domestic abuse situations. It's not just men, or it's not just women. It's men and women and children. And so they have a shelter. They have lawyers that do freelance. They do. They'll just provide counseling. They have clothing. Anything that survivors might need, they will do their best to provide.
That's really cool, yeah. I mean, we appreciate it as a whole. I think in the world we need more stuff like that going on as a whole. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you guys back in a little bit.
Thank you.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the inaugural Rebelle Rally presented by Hoenn Adventures. If you're just tuning in now, we are coming at you from Base Camp 4 in the Glamis Sand Dunes in Southern California. Day 6 of competition. It's coming to an end too quickly, but we're losing track. The days have been long but good. And I've got with me here Team 142. You got Carrie Boyer.
Hi.
And Pamela Hall, Pam Hall.
Pam Hall, hi!
Pam Hall. How's it going out there, guys? You having fun?
Oh, we're having a blast. An absolute blast. Today was a little tough, but we had a blast. Every day is a blast. Everything's been fun. We love it.
We always find the fun in everything, so that's what... It could be a terrible day, and we'd still be like, it was fun! That's good. There's a lot of laughs going on in the car, then.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And songs. We're making up songs. We're driving along. We see street signs, and we're making up a story about the street signs.
Today we had a long time speed distance, and so we could only go about 18 miles an hour. Everything's in kilometers, so 30, and we played I Spy. We had to keep ourselves entertained.
Yeah, it was a little difficult today, but yeah, it was good. It was an easy day, but the TSD was a challenge for us.
Well, you've known each other for a while, so you got good partners on your side. How far do you guys go back?
About 5 years.
5 years?
5 years. We met through off-road racing. Her husband races. Her whole family races. My husband and I, of course. So that's how we met. I met her father-in-law in Mexico at the Baja 1000. So
you can't really be a Boyer and not race.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the Boyers race. They're born into it. It's a given obligation.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. What are you guys driving out there?
Jeep Rubicon. It's a 2015 Ruby. Storm or Super Troopers is what we call it. We have the whole, fleet with us.
Yeah, all the stormtroopers, kids in the bus. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So these two, we'll have to find a clip maybe a little later. But these two have the pictures on the back windows. With the stormtroopers. So full Star Wars. I mean, they're cruising down the road and they're just ready for battle at any given moment, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, the Jeep's pretty well equipped, so we can go for some battle.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
What do you guys think of the course so far? I mean, we're here down in the dunes now. Have you been having a fun time so far?
We're loving it. We're having a blast. The dunes, I have to be honest, intimidate me a lot because I've never driven in the dunes until Dumont. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. We'll probably just do some greens and blues and. We're not doing any blacks tomorrow. We're just going to go for some points.
You don't have to go too high on a dune. It's always what's on the other side that is the scary part. So we're going to kind of stay down low. So, and we're okay with that. We're on the same page with that. So that's good. Better be careful and cautious than not.
We haven't yelled at each other at all. So that's what's really good.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we haven't yelled. I told her one day, I'm like, okay, when you're doing this, you need to make sure, just tell me. Stop talking because I tend to talk if I get nervous. So she's like, okay. And the other day she actually had to say, come on, let's go.
I told her it takes her so long. She's so fast in a race car, but it takes her so long to get from point A to point B when she's walking around and there's people.
Yeah, that's a true story. So
Gonna save your energy for the more important things, right?
Oh, I ran up a few hills. I'm going to be nice and toned whenever this is over.
I sat in the Jeep and watched her do it. I did video her one day.
You were busy. She was busy. She didn't do nothing. She was definitely working. I was just funning.
We were talking about the driving is obviously hard, but the navigating, you don't realize how, I mean, we're physically drained at the end of the day, but we're mentally drained as well, just because, you're constantly plotting and trying to figure out where you're at. And so it's been fun, and we've seen some amazing, beautiful scenery that I didn't even know existed. So
today was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Today we saw a canyon. We called it the mini Grand Canyon because it was absolutely gorgeous.
The mini.
The mini. We were trying to figure out what to name it. Everything's got a name. Everybody has a nickname. Yeah. We're making up songs. Yeah.
You'll have to go back and make a list based on features on the map. Well, here's where we sing next year you come around and you'll have it all planned out, synchronized and everything. Maybe even make a CD, add Rockstar to your list.
We've already talked about next year.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
Good.
Yeah, and next year we're having a different tent that's easier to pop up. We're going to bring less clothes because we overbrought because we're looking at rain and cold, and it didn't happen. So, I mean, the cold did, but not too bad. So.
And our husbands are hearing it first right now,
Yeah.
so I'm sure they're happy about that.
No, it was a blast.
But they're, yeah.
So we're proud to be here, and it's been, I mean, with it being the inaugural, the first, the first ever, it's just a very proud moment. So we're a little teary-eyed today. We're driving through Joshua Tree, and all of a sudden I'm like, I think I'm going to cry right now. She's like, why? And I said, because I'm thinking about this adventure that we're on together. And I literally like teared up, and she's like, stop it, you're making me cry. Really? I said, did we just miss our turn? No. Yeah, we ended up thinking we were supposed to go down a wash, and then in Joshua Tree you can't go down a wash, but we thought we were supposed to go down a wash, so we had to pull over and make sure we were where we were. But it was a nice moment. It was a very nice moment. We're going to come out of this even stronger, have a stronger friendship than we had going into it. That's for sure.
That's usually the outcome of competing together, especially when you've already known each other for a long time. So, I mean, the terrain has been really diverse. What's the weather change been like? I mean, we started all the way up near Reno, Nevada, basically. I mean, what's it been like? What are some of the weather conditions we've been through? You said no rain, no sleep, but
lots of wind. We're really tired of the wind, but we did start with long sleeves, Uggs, and now I'm in flip-flops and no sleeves, so this is what we love. Yeah, we like it. As long as it doesn't get windy here, which I hear it gets really windy here, as long as it doesn't get windy, we'll be okay. But
where's some wood to knock on?
Yeah, I know. We're over the wood. We're over the wood, the wind. Speaking of which, a lot of these mountains, this is it's the terrain, awesome. Everything's been beautiful. We're having fun. The course is fun, challenging. We did see Snoopy and George Washington in the terrain. Yes, and a pregnant lady holding her belly. People think we're crazy. I think everybody around here thinks we're crazy because we're like this all the time. So
I think everybody around here is feeling the same exact way that you're feeling and thinking the same exact thing. At the end of the day, you can get a little bit delirious, but I mean, the terrain has been insane.
The terrain has been insane. It's been awesome. I mean, I mean, if it was in a race car, it'd be totally different, but the Jeep, definitely the shocks are going to need to be rebuilt after this one.
I think everybody's put their suspension
to the test for sure.
Yeah. I mean, a lot.
And the wind and the weather in general. I mean, we went from cold, like you were saying, cold to now this nice weather down here. We've never been to Glamis, so we're excited to see it tomorrow.
You're going to love it. It's beautiful.
Someone said to me a little bit ago, we're all tired, but we forget that our cars are tired too. So they're probably ready to go. Yeah, we're trying to keep it together. We've been, knock on wood again. We've been decent. You know, we haven't had any issues. Knock on wood.
There's been a few, but we're pretty lucky.
We haven't, knock on wood, we haven't been stuck, but we might have to use our Max trucks tomorrow.
Well, you might as well put it to use. You've been carrying it this whole time.
Yeah. Well, I have my trasharoo around it now, so I'm like going to have to take that thing off. And
I'd rather use it as a sled down.
I'll just use it as a sled.
Oh my gosh, would that work?
That sounds awesome. Well, maybe if we sat on the rough side. That wouldn't feel so good, though.
No. We'll be trying that later. We'll be cutting the footage of Carrie. Of Carrie. Carrie right here. She'll be our guinea pig.
I want to be following down.
Well, hey, thank you so much for coming out here with us and talking to us. You guys are doing a great job and good work, and we'll be back in a few.
Awesome,
Thanks. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got Team 120 with us now. We've got Valerie Crockett.
Hi there, guys.
And Ashley Lee.
Hello.
How's it going out there? You guys having fun so far?
And when we talk about fun, this is a level beyond anything else you could expect. Fun. If you had to put in a scale 1 to 10, this is a 25.
Wow.
Yeah. It is. It really is. It is a level of a challenge, but at the end of the day, you come back and you realize the bottom line of it has to be fun. And we're having a blast out there, including yesterday. And yesterday's was a challenge in an epic proportion. It resulted in a 4-hour recovery that Ashley and myself were doing, and we got stuck twice. So we were stuck once, and it was high centered, and we broke a rock in half, and it was holding. It was how wide was it?
It was probably 2 feet wide.
2 feet wide across the entire underbody, and then on one side, and then another 2 feet of a rock on the other side. And so both our front tires and rear tires were up in the air, off the ground, in a wash that was not planned, by the way. Was not part of the plan. The Rebelle would not make you do that. We did it.
That's the first black checkpoint right there. On top of that rock, they nailed it. No.
That's true. We did not plan that, and it was just a wrong turn and a decision after another, thinking we could do it, and it resulted in us getting high scented in a wash that was not part of the Rebelle route. And what happened was we were high scented. We said, all right, well, let's move the vehicle. We lifted it up. We used our max track. We brought 4 of it. It worked out really well. Unfortunately, the rock was that tall, and I have a lifted 4Runner, a 2004 4Runner, and it was lifted and it still could not get over the rock. We were from lifting each tire, putting rocks underneath. Rocks are our best friends. Yesterday's theme was rock on, rock on. It reached a point where the sun was setting. We were there for almost 2 hours,
Yeah.
and we were wondering if the people at base camp were watching our tracker, and people back home were like, what is going on with these girls?
Moving.
They're not moving. They haven't moved for 2 hours. And then it was 6:30. You're supposed to be back at base camp 6:30. And then we said, all right, let's pick up the phone. Let's call them, tell them we're here, we're okay. And Ashley picks up the phone, satellite, trying to find in a canyon, and there's no reception. And we finally get a message out saying, okay, guys, we've been here, we've been high scented, and we'd like to be recovered. And note that the team here is prepared for that. They came prepared with a whole crew. A recon team. They were ready. And there is the satellite phone, and Ashley's like, okay, we're ready. Come get us. And there I am in the background yelling, Ashley, I'm gonna give it one more try. So before that happened, it was lifting the vehicle, and the vehicle would not move. So the saying was, if the vehicle would not move, if the truck does not want to move, you move the rock. We took out the shovels and we dug under the rocks until we could shimmy it and drop it. And we were able to get, how much was that? Was like
A quarter of an inch, something
yeah,
like clearing. Yeah. Just enough.
just enough to get us over it. And I was just skimming the surface. And Ash is picking up the satellite. And she goes, all right, guys, come get us. And in the background, I'm going, give me one more try. I'm going to go one more time. And there I am. She hangs up, and I take it off.
She floors it.
Floors it. And
runs over the floor jack. And she runs over the floor jack at the same time. I almost dropped the phone. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? It was awesome. It was really epic.
Yeah. Epic proportions.
Yes.
Epic of epic proportions, and we could put it all together. We get out, decide that, hey, we see a way out of this wash with rocks the size of, my husband would call it size of Volkswagen bugs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we wish there was drone. We actually considered, like, we've been here so long. We thought maybe someone would send a drone out for us, and just, you can't interfere, but you could watch us. And we're thinking, we saw planes go by, like, oh, no, that's not it. Maybe. Oh, and it was like, it would have been great footage, and we are talking about going back to just go see the remains of what our adventure entailed.
The wreckage.
The wreckage, the rock broken half with rocks everywhere, and we got out of that, and 30 seconds later she calls back, and they were ready to come out, and then they get another message saying, we're good, we're gonna be fine, you can stay there, cancel that, we're coming home, we're safe, we're coming home. Then we get up to an elevation thinking, okay, we'll get up, and by the way, it's now dark. There is no light, and thank goodness for a light bar, and it got us 25 feet. Then we decided, okay, you're on the edge of a ravine, enough for you to get about the length and a half of the 4Runner down a ravine, and the ravine's really narrow, really narrow, and it resulted in it going nose in, thinking we could turn the vehicle towards the open mouth of the wash, it ended up just going nosing and sliding, and we ended up 2 inches from a wall, and a wall of rocks. And we were just, I told Ash, we just got ourselves out of 2 hours of recovery, and now I'm nosing, no winch, and even if I had a winch, it's not on the front side, and not on the back side, and no one's here to winch us out. There's no tree, it's a desert, what else are we gonna do? I told Ash, let's just call it lose the bumper, and let's get out of here. Ashley looks at the wall and says, you know, if the truck doesn't want to move, we move the rock. There she is, picking up the biggest rock she can find, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing, Ash? Like, what are you doing? Tell them, what did you do?
Yeah, it was sandstone, so I know that it cracks pretty easily. And so I just grabbed big boulders and started smashing it in, and it just started crumbling, and we did that for about another 30, 40 minutes. It took about a foot and a half of the wall out, so at least she can have the clearing to make a right-hand turn. So we got our gloves on, I got some scratches and some bruises, and we got it out, so it was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Team 120.
Team 120.
That is, and these ladies rolled in this vehicle. I mean, what time of night? But you rolled in and it was flawless. I mean, these two were moving boulders and moving walls. I mean, the desert gives you trouble. You give the desert trouble.
And it's absolutely true. It's true because when we came back, everyone wanted to know, like, who are these girls?
How did you do that?
How did you do that? And they could see the terrain based on the topo map that we had gone from ground zero up to a ridiculous elevation and such like the contour lines were so tight, and we came down on the other side of it into what was a valley, very tight as well. Got ourselves from that elevation down to a wash that got narrower and narrower, and too narrow with rocks the size of Volkswagens. And my vehicle can't climb that, even with the sliders, even with the suspension, even with everything we've put on it to prepare it for this moment. And it came down to just being as prepared and realizing you can't give up yet. I kept telling Ash, and she goes, "You crazy girl." I said, "I am not giving up until I've broken every tool in this cool bag we brought, and I will get us home." I did promise her. I did. In the middle of the day, I said, "Ash, I promise I will get you home safe and sound." I didn't promise her the time. It's true. It's true.
Well, you could have just met us at Del Mar at the end, really. You know. How long have you guys known each other? You seem to be pretty tight.
We've only known each other, but we're mostly acquaintances for a couple of years. I know her husband through work, and we've been just kind of friends since we started preparing for the rally like 5 months ago. So it was just kind of like, you want to do this? I want to do this. Let's get it done. So it was awesome.
Have you guys been enjoying camping together, camping with all the ladies? And it was a lot of work in setting those tents up, but is it going okay for you?
I have to say that Ashley is a master at putting a tent together and staking it out. She's actually gone around to like a lot of the ladies and helping them put the tent up, and it lasts. The winds. You've heard about the winds, and it's been crazy windy. And every single tent she's put up has not come down. So hats off to Ashley for creating like perfect tents.
I'm tent mom at camp for sure. Tent mom. Everybody just waits till you roll in. Last night, none of the tents were up there. Where's Ashley? I'm tired. I'm getting sleepy.
Where's her hammer? Where is Ashley's hammer? It's like Thor's hammer. It's the most precious thing right now, especially when setting up camp.
For sure. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, we actually got a lot of, I don't know if you've seen it around camp, but a lot of huge amount of product from Big Agnes. You can see them right here. Big Agnes BA. And they hooked us up with a ton of stuff. I mean, their tents are awesome. Their chairs are awesome. I mean, they set up within a couple minutes. If you've seen that stuff around camp, it's in the bag and then it's there ready to use. I mean, in no time. Quality stuff. So thank you, Big Agnes, for that. That was really, really cool. And yeah, thanks for coming out and talking to us. You guys are looking great out there. I'm glad that we got to hear the story behind the late arrival.
Yeah, I know we definitely scared a couple people because it was just not moving, and then it moved, and then it stopped moving again. So we were very thankful for the support when we came back, and everyone kind of was waiting, open arms, like, oh my goodness, you're back. Drew, the chef, even warmed us up food, and that was just just late in the day, and he's like, I'm gonna make you meals. That just means so much to us. It really does.
Yeah, Drew's great. He's an awesome guy. You guys enjoying that whole part of it?
I'm going back for 3 rounds because he's made 3 different dishes today, and I said, I'm going to try every single thing. I will make space for that.
Oh yeah, what do we got going today? I haven't even been on it yet.
We have beef stir-fry, chicken, and a vegetarian dish, and we also have kimchi. Woo, yum. It's awesome.
It sounds delicious. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a long day, so we appreciate you coming up and taking a few minutes to chat. You're looking good out there, and keep up the good work. Yeah, and that is going to conclude it for the night. Thank you, Team 120. Thank you to all the other teams, and thank you guys for checking it out and logging on and watching the show. We really appreciate your support, and everybody that's been supporting us, all of our sponsors, Hone Adventures mainly, for making this whole thing happen with the Rebelle. And don't forget to check us out. We've got tomorrow night coming up, rebellerally.com/live. Sign on, 8 o'clock at night. And then we've also got our Instagram pages, Facebook pages, Twitter, all that stuff. So if you're getting bored waiting for the live show, you know where to go. And thanks again. You guys have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.